Yeah, we're being joined.
Viswanathan.
Yeah, Vishy, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, I guess Anish will be here in a second. I'll just run through these last moves because we didn't see them, and pretty much a standard draw. In fact, we more or less had
Pretty much guessed this.
We guessed this position was coming, and this is basically nothing really happened. And it was a draw as anticipated. So we lost Anish.
No, he's in the press. I mean, the other rooms. But I guess somebody's gone to call him. So.
Oh right, okay.
So
we liked your play, Vishy, at least up to a point.
Yeah.
We thought you were, we were doing. We thought you were doing well.
Yes, so did I.
yeah, talk through things.
I don't know whether we should wait or. I think let's just plough on, and if we're joined by.
I mean, round about here.
Yeah. Can you show us? Yeah, just click.
Well,
on.
Anish thought that this was strong.
Yeah, I like C5.
Yes, but then he can also sit passively, and I don't really know how I'm going to make progress. I mean, I understand C5 is pleasant.
Yeah.
But maybe I should do something more long term than what I did. I tried to. Well, Anish thought this, and but to be honest, if something like Rook A6, though it looks absurd, next he plays Bishop D7, gets the Queen back, and I didn't see a breakthrough.
Do you take C6, by the way? Do you take C6?
You can't take Rook A.
Don't you take twice on E6? Oh no, Queen E1, yeah.
Queen E1 E5.
Yeah.
Also, you can even take with the Rook by now.
Oh yeah, at this point, yes. It doesn't work.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but
Looks so bad.
the problem is here he completes his development. Maybe you're right. I
mean,
consider C5.
C5 looked completely normal positional move because I couldn't see how black is developing here.
No, with hindsight, I think you're right. But I thought something like this, and
I also thought, but
I can go and take this pawn, but he'll crawl out, and I mean, of course, White's position is lovely, but D4 is weak.
Yeah.
So if he gets this piece slightly developed,
it's a long way to attack D4. No,
no, but I mean, if I go for
Queen
the A4
A3,
pawn,
Queen A3, for example.
One sec. Here, Queen A3. No, you're just allowing B5.
Ah, that's nice.
So, I mean, I thought something like this, and then, I mean, no, you'll probably have to give the pawn, or maybe you can defend it Queen before Queen A5 or something. I mean, I can go Bishop D3, Bishop C4,
I was not
and
too
then.
scared at that point, but now it looks quite bad.
It looks ugly, but I didn't think I had a breakthrough because essentially I'll win back either the E6 pawn or the A4 pawn.
Yeah, but if you play Rook B1 here, for example, and we'll go Rook B1.
Maybe on the previous move, no, it was even stronger probably. Where was
maybe.
Yeah, Rook B1 is just very strong.
Yeah. Well, E5.
No, then take Rook D8 check.
I see.
Could be. No, I'm sure when I look, I'll find some way for White to be better. But
it just.
No, but my problem was I simply missed this. I thought that that this move was strong, and that he couldn't play Bishop E6 because of Queen G3, but then simply Rook F7, and then I'm clearly worse. So, in fact, after that, I'm the one trying to equalize, and I think I managed. Bishop G8, Rook takes F5, and it seems to be about enough.
And this A3 was a nice little move just to give you a little headache. I mean, you have to think at least.
For half a move,
No, but this is what I'd been calculating all this time with Rook. When I played Rook B1, that he could take and go for this A3, but I have Bishop D3 and Rook B3. Yeah. And if he waits too long, I can bring my king to E2. So it's not like long-term, he has any long-term hopes.
Sure.
And no, but the problem was once I got here, I had to kind of bail out because my position.
Because I developed my pieces.
Yeah, he's gotten out. So I misplayed something.
Yeah. In the other room, Matthew Sadler was raving about your chances. He thought you were the most likely to win today, but anyway, it didn't turn out. And Anish, I wanted to ask you because I presume you saw the game Simon Williams against Luc van Welle at the weekend.
Yeah.
It was the same
just
variation.
When preparing, and so it was
there. So you were trying to emulate Luke Van Welly, were you?
I'm not sure if that's advice on it.
Yeah, well.
So, well,
You know,
you know, all you Dutch men together, you.
Okay, basically I thought I'll play first line. I thought, you know, I thought that unlike Magnus I can spacebar a little bit, but apparently I cannot do it either, so what to do?
So how are you feeling about the tournament so far, guys? One round to go. Anish, you're playing Vladimir tomorrow. Big game. Joint leaders, I think. So.
They all made draws, yeah?
No.
Hikaru is actually.
He's
just
won. He's won. We will. Okay,
But it
we'll.
doesn't change the standings though, they just switch places, yeah?
3 points for a win, though.
3 points for a win.
No, but they do switch places now. Hikaru takes place of Michael.
I get
Yes.
pushed down because his 50% is worth more than my 50%.
Okay.
So because
Testing
Yeah.
our math skills.
Yeah.
Here.
So if Hikaru, let's say you draw tomorrow and Hikaru, I don't know what the pairings are. I've lost track of the.
Hikaru wins. He's.
Hikaru plays
anyway.
Caruana.
Anyway, it's all to play for tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks a lot. We're going to have a look at this game. The one decisive result. Well, in fact, just stay here until they come, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we've got
Yeah,
tomorrow's
actually,
pairings up on the screen at the
We've
moment.
got tomorrow's pairings up. So you're Black, Vichy against Michael Adams, who after storming into the lead in the first round, he's taken a little bit of a dive.
With his gilt edge chance yesterday as well.
Yeah, no, he had a great chance to beat Vladimir Kramnik yesterday.
Why did he play here today this move c5? What is White's idea if you just castle short? Move 7.
Move 7.
Because I'm just trying to figure out the subtle idea, but yeah. Why to go for complications when you can just castle?
You can do that.
I mean, but what did White do with the move 4? Do you understand?
He confused him.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, knight has to go to c3 anyway, or it's something.
Yeah, he just confused him a
Very
little bit. You know, it happens. You know, sometimes when you just play your moves in the opposite order, it.
Yeah, but you know, I understand if castle was worse than c5, but I mean, it's just kind of strange because look, after c5, cd, cd, bishop b5 check, it got extremely sharp.
Yeah,
and
it was sharp and better for White, in fact.
better for White,
but it was
unnecessary.
very it was sharp. I just wanted to ask you guys because I had a little.
So this is the Jan Timman analysis, but okay, with one rook only, yeah, this position.
This type of position.
Yeah, with one rook only. Didn't he write like 10 pages of analysis?
I don't know.
This Karpov hot game from
Karpov
or something back in the 70s.
Yeah,
wasn't that with an A pawn or something?
No. It was 4 versus 3, but this the E pawn. And the thing is, Karpov went F4, G4, H5.
Yeah,
into
so
E4, Rook A6, and somehow got G5.
But he had an A pawn. He had an A
Initially,
pawn.
maybe,
He did have an A pawn. He had an
Ah,
extra.
and even that, it didn't even
that's
matter.
right. He had this with an extra A pawn. Yeah, I remember it. I remember the game.
But finally,
That's why I felt it was
Okay.
good. It was
Wow.
good.
I'm a bit in awe of
yeah,
his knowledge.
I don't know, but I thought
it's
Jan's
winning
conclusion.
simply. I can't believe it.
That 4 versus 3 is just.
With the E pawn, with this.
No, I'm talking the ending. I think Jan said that he thought the ending was lost.
Yeah, because I thought this.
But it depends really. If you can
this-
get the structure with F4. In fact, Karpov had a pawn on E2, and he delayed E3 till very late.
Yeah, but
So
this.
he managed to get all his H4, H5, everything
So who wants to
before
change? What if Rook H? What if Rook D8?
I think
King G2?
just King G2.
Rook D1?
Take
Yeah.
H4.
I think this
So
is
Black
just.
is trying to avoid changing rooks.
I think this
No,
is.
that's not the point. The point is H5. Black is trying to avoid this Caro-Kann structure, if you know what I mean. This clamp.
He's
How
just.
can I ever avoid it?
Well, if you could get H5, I don't know, but maybe that's also bad because then G5 becomes weak. And maybe the ending, maybe this 3,
Maybe
this E
some-
pawn plus 2 is not defensible. I don't know.
Oh, and just H5 and what, F4, King F3 or?
Yeah, and then King E4, and the idea is G5 and then Rook A7 check. But because these extra E pawns, you have more things or something. I've forgotten the details.
But it's unpleasant.
Yeah.
It's certainly unpleasant.
So
at least I know that it's supposed to be very.
Yeah, no, it feels
difficult
it feels much worse than a regular 4 against 3 endgame, which is
Even a regular 4 versus 3. If white gets g4, it's not a piece of cake.
yeah.
But
and
you move
also,
the pawn one. If you move the f pawn d6, then it's just got to be much
I
worse.
also remember a game, Jeroen Piquet against Gary Kasparov, which he didn't get g4 but won easily anyway.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So talking about
fantastic rook endgame knowledge there.
Dutch classics. Yeah.
But I thought that if black puts his pawns on h6, g7, f6, then it should be easy to defend.
Yeah, this is
It's
the.
essentially I come back to f1 with the rook.
Okay. So let's see.
But again, you have g6 and I have g4, then you are probably in trouble because then you cannot get either.
So are they here? Yeah.
So
we're going to
g6 and g4, then maybe it's no longer fun.
We're going to kick you out, guys, because we've got the. It was nice seeing you, but
the real guy's coming. Right?
yeah.